beneficiary and the one that is sending. So there's two ways. Or you want to share the fees, or you want to take it to your own, so you don't have to pay two times, to my understanding and to my knowledge. But maybe I'm mistaken.
No, you're correct. You can actually pay as a sender, and
Yeah.
you can pay, and you pay to send, and you also cover the charges on the receiving end.
Yes, but what?
Remember, Fatima, you are the receiver as well because it's going into your account.
Yeah,
so
but it's something that you're choosing ahead to me.
Go again.
It's a point that you choose and decide ahead.
Yeah, you decide ahead. You decide
exactly.
ahead.
So if you're going to take all the fees at your own cost, is okay. But you're right. I'll be the same person, the beneficiary and the sender.
Yeah.
But
right.
It doesn't cost so much. And this is maybe again I'm mistaken, but I'm quite sure about my font through the IBAN.
Yeah. Well, we can facilitate it, but again, it depends on the charges.
Mm.
It makes things much easier. It makes things much easier because once you go, you don't need to go to because once you have once everything with the IBAN, you can send the money straight from your account. You don't need to go to the teller and tell them, oh, you want to send this money to Jamaica. You know, it's a lot of filling out paper and a lot of information, so you could send it straight from your account. It makes things much easier.
I know that they have this thing called World Remit because I use it as an app, and I can like send money directly to the account, and it goes from my bank account. So it's just like
that's money transfer.
Yeah, it's a money transfer. Yeah, World Remit. Yeah.
But how much fee do you pay?
No, it's quite reasonable. It's better than Western Union, I find.
Okay.
You pay like £4.
Yeah, it's like
for White House Beach. As far as, are there still lots available actually on the beach? Or I know you guys have, I think, 5 phases that you're working at in White House Beach. Phase 1, I think, is supposed to be done at the end of this year. Are you guys, 1, on track to finish it by the end of this year, phase 1? And then 2, what percentage of lots are actually still available to purchase on the beach?
At the White House Beach Club, we actually do not have any other lots on the beach itself. What is on the beach is the beach park. So on the beach itself, the White House Beach Club, they have a sloped land going away from the beach. Up there is where we put all of the units. So you have ideal views of the sunset and of the ocean. But on the beach itself, where the private beach is, that is where we're going to put the beach park, which is the clubhouse, the swimming pool, the gym, the restaurants, the saunas, that kind of stuff.
All right, so the question now, though, Jason, is there a connectivity?
So how many lots are there?
You connect to the property?
How many are left?
Yes, so we've designed an underpass. So you use your golf carts to go under the main road and pop up over to the beach side from your unit, from your house.
Okay.
Did I understand? Sorry, did I understand that you had properties in Hanover?
No, we don't have any properties in Hanover quite yet, but we're looking at that.
Well, how many lots left are left in White House Beach?
In White House Beach Club, we have 59 lots remaining.
And how many are there in total?
Less 1. My one's going to keep safe.
What about the properties in St. Elizabeth?
Let me finish the White House question. So we initially had 110 units. We anticipated to do 20 units between now and the end of this year. So we're still well on track to complete that. For Palmbrook Estate, we have phase 3 is what we're currently selling. We've basically sold out phases 1 and 2. And we're currently in phase 3, and we still have nice lots remaining down there still. But again, we do not want to sell properties over the phone or online. You'd have to have someone come and have a look. So even though you might not be physically able to, you'd have to send someone to visit.
I mean, I'm there quite often, so I think after this, you know.
Last question.
I'll get that chance.
So White House Beach, you guys are going to be, you gave an estimate, well, maybe 2 questions, estimation in regards to the rental. Now, are the rentals going to be facilitated through, I don't know, something about turning that into a resort? Is it going to be facilitated through some central booking, or are we allowed to just rent our homes individually, not have to go through any kind of central party? We can just kind of rent them like.
Well, you'd have to come through the central party currently. We are forming a company to manage that project with hoteliers in charge of it. So they would advertise, get the clients, rent the properties, turn them over, all of that for you. So
I asked because we got some documentation and it listed fees like commission fees, and myself, I do a lot of online advertising for different companies. So being able to go around the Expedia and those type of companies, which are charging 10 to 13%, I want to say, in commission fees. Is there a way to do that so that way we don't have to incur those costs and can instead pass that savings on either to the person purchasing, the person renting, or just to ourselves?
Well, at the moment, the idea is if you have persons that want to come to the property, you yourselves would get that commission.
Right. No. So I understand that. So there's the rental fee that you're gonna get, right, from the person renting it. But he says if they all have. So what I'm saying is, like, could we do it that the person rented it? Say we found someone, we didn't want them to have to go through the company. They just wanted to pay us, and they go out there and rent the place. That's what I'm asking.
Well, we did not want that to happen because for security reasons. We wouldn't have any idea who is coming to the property, who is staying, who is leaving. And to keep the place secure, you need to know who is coming in and who is going out.
All right. Okay. So then I guess this is my last one, and I'll stop hijacking the meeting. In regards to, I guess, like the next step and just looking at the different lots, is there any literature you guys can give with a list of what lots are already taken so we can get an idea of?
Yes, all of that is available at our website at moorlanddevelopment.com. That's
okay.
MOORLAND.
Development. Okay.
So moorlanddevelopment.com has a list of all the available lots. You can email us at marketing@moorlanddevelopment.com. You can email me individually at
highway, the newly constructed highway. I think there's one that goes to Mobay, I believe.
I didn't hear that.
Is it near the highway that goes to Mobay that was recently?
Well, the new highway that was created to go to Montego Bay. So from the airport in Mobay to get to White House Beach Club is about an hour and 15 minutes, or 20 minutes thereabout.
Oh, that's
good. Is that on the highway?
Well, you have to give the speed at which you drive. Right. So the relativity of that, and we want you all to be safe. So to get there safe, an hour and 15 minutes, please. Not when I'm late for a meeting with Jason or Mr. Maxwell down there, and I will take maybe 35 minutes from Montego Bay to get to White House. Maybe. And I say maybe, it could be on the other side. All right. So it is not very far from Montego Bay. So persons who are thinking Metropolis, it's not very far from Montego Bay. All right. And two things you have to also bear in mind, that there's the shoreline and there is country Jamaica that is really, really good. Inland Jamaica, really nice. Right, so we are catering and we're balancing. So White House will cater for shoreline lovers who like that really great sunset. Jason, you didn't mention the sunset at all. You don't miss what you'll see in the grill if you're in White House. And I tell you that we have shot a few videos in White House. It's St. Elizabeth, Lacovia, being so close to the zoo, Appleton Estate. Well, you can say an hour from Lover's Leap, right, Jason? About that, depending on what you're driving.
No, our properties are located again in very nice areas when you consider tourist attractions. For example, Palm Brook is about half hour less from the Wise Falls. The Bamboo Avenue is even less. To Treasure Beach or to Black River to go on the safari. So we are on the south coast of Jamaica. I know Ricky wants to go back to Mobile and that side of the island. But the south coast is where most people coming to now because they've already done Ochi and Negril and Montego Bay.
Yeah, I want to go back because I have the view from the Freeport and the airport. That's why. I have two beautiful views.
I'm going to send you some of my videos as well, Ricky, so you can see that we have quite lovely views as well.
You know, and I definitely want to start doing it because I'm not getting younger.
And when you come back, you not want to see the airport again because you don't want to leave when you come to the south.
I'm sorry, Ricky. Jason, I've got a Facebook question for you.
Yes.
For Lacovia, let me bring this up. For Lacovia, Palmbrook Estate, if you have purchased 3/4 acres and you're not ready to build your property, can you put some vegetable on that property for 3 months or even 6 months? Would you have a problem with that in the gated community?
Actually, I'd have to run this by my directors, but no, we don't.
No farming.
So no farming at all. So no farming within the gated community unless there is an existing structure. There's building there and there's a backyard garden.
Yes.
All right. So hope that answers that question on Facebook. Some people listening online, we're also streaming as well. And I must say, he did mention when he came in, Mr. Maxwell, Managing Director of Moreland Development, he's here. And welcome once again, Mr. Maxwell. We won't put you on the spot to ask you much questions, but just for house protocol, I want to let the listeners and viewers know that you are here with us as well. We have persons representing various diaspora regions. Gonna say big respect to all those in France, Paris crew. As I've seen the Belgium crew in the house, US crew. You're here. Those from Canada, welcome as well. My Jamaicans, I can't big enough. I know that this is rough right across the world, but we are here having this beyond COVID discussion and land, Jamaica land, we love land series. So it's all about being in the conversation. Florida, of course, New York and Florida. I tell you, you have to get your special big up. We can't just say USA, right? New York and Florida, or else Mr. Smith, we will be in trouble. Probably you'll be in trouble with your diaspora regions.
I know my New York team, they're in here as well. The representatives of Natasha and also Shawnette, they're in the meeting as well.
Great,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So if there's anyone in New York, we have offices in New York.
VMBS.
Great, so, and guess what? Abu Dhabi, absolutely, Abu Dhabi is here as well. Welcome to our Middle East friends or colleagues.
And Qatar.
Let me tell you something. I'm saying this to you guys on this forum. Own land. If you're not going after that property just yet, that building, that structure, just yet, own land. Be a part of the conversation. Own the land. There is gated communities that's being developed, and Moreland sits at the helm of that. We are positioned to make your vision a reality. In owning this land, being a part of that conversation. If you're seeing a piece of land, you want to own it and have us build on it and have Victoria Mutual finance it, we're here for that as well. Going forward, we're in this pandemic. A lot of things are uncertain, but we have got market trends. We have pointers, elements to suggest that we are not losing anything from property. Property is sought after right now. The way Jamaica handled the COVID-19 pandemic and how they're handling it now has sent a signal throughout the Caribbean and by extension the world. The Prime Minister was on CNN earlier, where he also mentioned that borders will be reopening soon to facilitate tourism. The concentration of tourism, as outlined by the Minister Bartlett, that on the western side, there will be a heavy concentration on the western side, Negril, to say, will benefit a lot more as the borders open and there's a phased reintroduction of tourism to Jamaica. So if you are considering getting property, having a structure now, I would say to you, consider the Western region. I would say, look, get a group of friends together, family members. Let us look at White House. Let us see if you can pool some funding, have financial literacy to move forward on that. Have that discussion so that you are there, you're in the mix. You can always part with your portion as an investment move, as a power move. So I am just kind of bringing a few points together. There are a lot of questions being asked in the chat. I ask you guys just to share your information there, drop your email address, your telephone numbers, so that we can keep in contact with you. Make sure that you're in the know. There are a lot of things happening. Get a shell. Look at the labor costs, the bill of quantity for that 85,000 pounds, and maybe just bordering 100,000 euros for your shell. Take your time and put in your finishes. We can talk about turnkey. A lot of persons do not want to go down the route of just doing your shell. They just want one thing done. Get the land, build a house, tell me to move in. Right? There have been a lot of testimonies about from the acquisition, land acquisition from moorland to completion. Persons are saying, oh, a year, 16 months, 18 months. And they're turning their keys. Now, what will the future, what will the economy look like 18 months from now if you procrastinate on a power move now? What will it be? A lot of persons have procrastinated and this ship sailed. Now we want to make sure that the next boat that is heading out, you are on this property, world investment, and all the embellishment of a great portfolio. I want you to be in that conversation, people. I want you to say that you own a piece of Jamaica. You're starting to do something. You have gotten the mortgage from Mr. Smith, and we are considering to complete this building by December. Don't have to be that reality, but I can always say this to you. Equity. And that is one of the points we want to kind of wind up on. And if you already have your building, you already have any sort of property, quote unquote property, that you may think that you want to get some equity from, you want to start something from that equity, Mr. Smith can address that, and we can go back to Mr. Baker, and then we can wrap up this informative session. Mr. Smith, can you just explain what equity is and how impactful equity can be?
Well, one of the things is that whenever you purchase a property, you're looking to see how it is that your wealth can grow. And when you think of property acquisition, it is one of the most best and the most sure way within which an individual's wealth can grow through equity. So each year your property appreciates in value. Conservatively, in Jamaica, you can say that's roughly anywhere between 13 to 15%. Now, when your property appreciates in value, that's when you go and do your valuation report. And of course, because of what is expected, when you put it on the market and you can sell it for this amount, you find that the difference between what you sell it or what it's valued to what you owe on it, that is equity. So, simple example using numbers. Property is sold for 15 million. Loan, 9 million. If you sell your property for the 15 and you pay off the loan for 9, that's 6 million. That's the real value in cash. That's the equity that you add in. we're saying to you is that your monthly payment, or sorry, your loan payment in terms of the principal balance of your mortgage, it goes down every year. And if it goes down every year and the value of your property increases every year, then it means that your equity grows every year. Now, what we have found is that there are many persons who use the equity in their property to fund other activities. But from a financial standpoint, as we often have discussions, we say to individuals, there are things people need to consider carefully. Believe it or not, there is what is known as good debt and bad debt. Good debt, a mortgage. It's still debatable whether a car loan is a good debt or a bad debt. But if you think about it from the perspective that a car, if you use the car when it comes to your business, for example, then it can be deemed to be a good debt. Some persons will say that, okay, it's a bad debt because why? The minute it rolls off the car lot, it's a used vehicle. And therefore, you can never get back the full purchase price for it. With a property, chances are, if you keep the property in terms of its physical structure, you paint it every so often. When it comes to the fixtures and fittings, you replace them, you maintain that value, and therefore you maintain or increase its equity. Now, in looking at equity, we have seen in our experience that some persons have used the equity that they have in the properties that they have acquired within the overseas market to fund some of their expenses for purchasing property back home in Jamaica. That is something that persons will sit with their financial advisors and they will ultimately make a decision. Now, the thing about it again, what individuals will look at is that when they deem to take the equity out of a property that is here in the overseas market, they're coming from the point of view that they have a repayment vehicle associated with that property. So for example, if they take out an interest-free only loan, they can go for an increased equity, or they can go for an equity loan, take the equity out of that property, because they know down the road there's a payment vehicle, whether it be an insurance policy, whether it be that they're going to sell that property, and they take the equity now so that they can benefit or use it to their advantage to acquire another property in Jamaica. So again, it's something that you need to sit and have a discussion with your financial advisor. Now, many of us would say to you that those are the things that, for example, owning a property is about or is for, that you can look at it from that perspective. What we have seen within our experience, and Corey alluded to this very well, is that the demographics of our borrowers are between the ages of, say, roughly 35 to around, say, 50. And another team member is here. Jane is in here. She could probably attest, but I think that's where we're looking at our customer base. What we also see is that there are a lot of persons who are waiting too long. They have delayed in acquiring a piece of the rock. And so they have the desire to go back home, and it's too late. It's too late in the sense that when you're 55 and we used an age of 70, a retirement age, that's a 15-year loan. When you have a 15-year loan, the monthly repayment on that loan is definitely going to be higher than if you got it at 20 years. The point we're making is that now, when you have that opportunity, my colleagues, seize the opportunity. Developments that 2-3 years ago were probably, say, and Jason can probably attest to this, 2-3 years ago, how much was the land for?
Palmbrook?
Yes.
If I quote it in Jamaican dollars, probably about 2.5 million.
And how much is it now?
Starting at 3.5 million.
There you go. $1 million.
If it was something in Manchester, for example, our initial selling prices for the lots in Manchester were about 2 million. They're not selling here for $12 million currently.
There you go. Okay. There you go. That's it. Now is the time, if you can, to seize that opportunity. And that's why we're having a forum like this. We are here to help. Victoria Mutual, as again, we're a global institution. We're in Jamaica, definitely, that's where we're from, but we're in the United States, we're in the United Kingdom, and of course, you have our contact details if you want to get to us. All right?
All right. And on that note, we will say this, that if you have got an account with Victoria Mutual, the conversation with Jason or even myself is so much easier as it relates to negotiating a price for Palmbrook Estate. You, as I said earlier, you'll be pleasantly surprised. You hear what the price is now, and if you have that one-on-one, you can talk to Jason, call Jason immediately. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait. I think we can probably let's give a 24-hour window, Jason. That if they contact you coming off this forum, right, you will be pleasantly surprised what price you can get that Palmbrook Estate quarter-acre lot for. We have seen so many other questions inside here, but I think we have done very well as a forum for today. That's the first in the Jamaica land. We love land, capital land. We love land series. I want to thank you, but we will be taking a few more questions before we go. If you want to type it, you can type it. But if you want to have some closing remarks, Jason, you can lead off, and then we have Mr. Smith with his closing remarks as you think about the questions that you want to ask us. All right, but for now, I am saying thank you for joining us on this forum. For me, it was indeed a pleasure just entertaining you, hearing your views, just having your attention, you know, knowing that you're there and you're interested in Jamaica, a beautiful land that you can own, you can be a part of, you can be a part of that conversation, right? And remember this now, Leighton is raising his hand. All right, I'll come to you shortly, Leighton. Remember, if you've got land and you need it to be surveyed, we've got a surveyor here as well, a very young surveyor, Salina, and we'll be working with Salina as we move forward. She was once in the United Kingdom as a Chilean scholar, and she has gone back to Jamaica and has started her little business, and we want to support her. That's sort of way. But remember, we are built on pillars of integrity. Don't forget that, and I want to leave that with you. So we do our due diligence, and we make sure that everything that we are a part of, it is 100% for you and about you. Jason.
Yes, so I want to thank everyone for participating. In the link, you'll find my cell number, which is also a WhatsApp number, so you can call me from anywhere in the world, or send me any questions, any follow-ups to this. I want to thank Leighton again for partnering with us to bring products to people worldwide who do not know that we have these wonderful products on the South Coast. Because people, Ricky would only tell you about Mobe.
Likewise, it's always an excellent opportunity when we're able to come together as a people. You know, we get to chit chat. The only thing is missing is the food, but that's another time. But it's always good, you know, we can encourage each other from in a time like this, especially when it comes to property acquisition. And again, you know, Corey, thank you for the opportunity. Jason, as always, it's a trip. I mean, we have done this in Canada, here, and New York, and Jason, he has always delivered very well. And you know, I speak from what I've seen. It's a very good product that they're offering to the diaspora, given what we're looking at. So, well done.
All right, we've got Leighton with his hand up. Leighton, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay,
but I didn't expect that voice though, but go ahead.
It's what of us here together.
Hi, Jason.
Good evening, everybody. Just a quick question. What if you're building already? Say you have the building, maybe half of the building, and you just like to finish the building. Would you be able to get like a loan or mortgage towards something like that?
How far is the building when you say it's constructed already? Is there any part of it's habitable, meaning out the ground, and there's a
It's
roof?
out the ground. It's out the ground.
Roof is on?
No roof. There's like a basement.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's slab, and the first floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So some part of it is habitable, right?
Not really, because the inside bit, there's no windows, no door, no floor, and it's just dirt.
Okay, so it sounds like to me like it's a 2-story building. Basement, first floor is there, but the second floor is not completed with the roof, correct?
No, it's not complete. Yes, okay. That's it.
Yeah. We can speak offline if you notice my details or Rory's details in the chat. You're in, where are you?
We're in London.
In London, okay, good. So if I'll post my details again so you can see it, and then you can give me a call and we can talk.
All right then, thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Ricky.
No, I'm just want to say I find this meeting is very good, and I think that after this COVID system we should continue, because it's a lot of information, because a lot of people didn't know what was going on, so now people are feeling much better and more trustworthy of asking more questions. Because if you're living in Europe, or I would say France and Germany, right? So you don't know these things, because if you live in England, it's a different thing. But for people living in Germany and France, it's a good information for them, because we don't have this access of getting information.
Mr. Lynn, we'll have to set us up soon, Mr. Smith.
Belgium to Ricky. Belgium.
Sorry.
Thank
I
you.
beg your pardon. No,
I didn't get it when I was in the UK. I'm getting it in Belgium now. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Okay. So you see, this now has got to do with a very great connection with Mr. Boucher.
Yes.
Right? Edward Boucher, who is, I would call him the Spider-Man now, right? who was linking so many different persons, so many different regions. Was great doing the jam fit, and coming over just to have that initial surgery. And now we have moved on, and he has supported us now, joining and making sure that others also can benefit from the information that we're sharing. So kudos, Edward. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's where we met. I think I met you there last year at the jump fest.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that was the first time we met. Yeah, and I still don't have an account yet. I'm still fighting to open an account.
That's on you. I think that's on you, Ricky. That's on you. Jesse, you say something.
Yes, I was going to leave them with we always bring presents when we come to meetings, whether we go to the UK, to US. And one of the presents we're bringing to this forum is a commission. So should we refer someone and that person purchases a property from Moreland Development, you get a 2% commission. So let's say they purchased one of the
Hold on. You see the smile? No, man. Everybody needs to turn on the camera now, and we need to screenshot this smile.
Yes.
I'm so happy because I have about 8 people in the room at the moment.
Yes.
Let's say you referred someone and they purchased a property, you'll receive a commission for that.
Okay. But sorry, can I just say for Corey, because I know we had a meeting set up, but just because I'm based in Belgium, and basically thanks to Eddie in France, but I think people on my side, we need this information. So I think you need to spread your wings more, Mr. Corey. So people decide, I mean, I'm on here and I wanted to invite people, but this information is very, it's valid, it's good. And I'm sure a lot of Jamaicans here would like this information to know that they can own a piece of land, buy a house in Jamaica, that you guys have the platform ready for us.
Absolutely.
There's people here who don't know where to go. Like Ricky can't open a bank account. So there's people here who don't know they can buy
wait,
where
stop.
to make the first
I need to cut you off.
This will be very good.
Wait, stop. Know the argument. Wait.
What's your nationality?
Wait.
What's your nationality?
Wait, my nationality?
What's your nationality?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Jamaican, but they German people give me them passport.
All right.
Oh, Jamaican passport?
But
the
no,
thing is-
on a serious note, we really, really need this information on our side here. And I
Exactly.
have to say a special thanks to Eddie for letting me join.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people also in Germany because I'm representing Germany and France. I'm traveling both sides, so it would be good because I have people in Germany who would also be interested as well.
Yes.
Well, we are free and we are willing to do more of these.
Meeting, yeah, sure. We have to.
We have to. It's needed.
We have to. Honestly, it's very interesting for people.
All right, great stuff. So we'll be coming to Belgium. There's a lot of questions been asked from the Canadian side, so we'll just have that discussion with Mr. Smith, and as that's his remit, diaspora affairs, and we'll have that discussion, and then we work the logistics out with Mr. Baker and deliver another Jamaica land we love land series, most definitely.
And sorry, Corey, I don't want to cut you.
Yes, John,
this
go
is
ahead.
John. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. Yes, just to say, I think I've seen some people writing that they also represent Abu Dhabi, but there's also a Middle East diaspora, which yes, we need to also factor that in as well, because I notice the information tends to be slanted towards, and understandably anyway, towards those who are more in Europe, particularly where VNBS is, the UK, and in the US and Canada. But there's a growing number of people here in the diaspora in the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, the Qatar region, Kuwait as well. So it would be good to start also thinking about this region.
Do we have much people in Jamaica living anymore?
John, don't pay Ricky much mind on that.
Jamaican is all over the world.
Hi, my name is Caroline.
Hi, Caroline. Welcome, Caroline.
Yes, I'm just joining you guys. Good evening. Just joining you from Kuwait.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm just putting a little bits and pieces together that it has something to do with buying houses and connection with mortgage lenders or something to that effect.
Owning your own land, owning piece of Jamaica, being a part of the conversation, of course, and by extension, owning property and looking at equity from same. Yeah, welcome. So you're spot on, and clearly you're spot on. Do you own property in Jamaica?
My thing is, I do, but my thing now is that we have a group that we recently formed in Kuwait. I think there are about 50 persons now in our WhatsApp. And so this conversation would be live for us if it could happen within our group, if you guys could, have a Zoom meeting. We've had several with persons from outside, but not with investment, but just trying to get home because we just started the group. So is that a possibility for you to hold like a Zoom meeting with us?
It is possible.
Anytime soon?
It is possible. Let us look at calendars and make it happen.
Okay, because we're stuck for a while, so it'd be good to get something positive going.
You see, we were thinking of challenging the UK diaspora, but it looks like the Middle East is coming to challenge mainland Europe.
So Mr. Baker,
yes.
So I suppose you have to extend the goodies to Kuwait as well.
Yes, ma'am. We have we actually have quite a bit of clients from the Middle East. When the bauxite plants here had closed, lots of people had migrated there, and I guess due to the cultural challenges, they always want to purchase and build back home quickly. Whereas the people who actually go to like Australia or Germany and these places stay for longer.
Got you.
Can I speak to Leighton?
Go ahead, Luxley.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm from Qatar, which is again the Middle East. Leighton, you did mention, where's Leighton? Is he anywhere around?
I'm here.
All right, you did mention about taking mortgage before, say, you reach, say, 60. Myself and my wife, we're 60, yeah? So you're looking at roughly 10 years down the line. But as a joint mortgagee, would we benefit in any way, since it's two of us, in taking a mortgage from Victoria?
Okay, what age does is that it basically shortens the tenure of the loan. So what happens is, because we will look at it from the perspective, that if your retirement age is going to be 70. However, there are some professions, individuals that are self-employed, and there are some young 70s. So we take all those things.
Like myself, yeah.
But there you go. So we will take those things into consideration, and then we may push the envelope a little bit to ask for a longer period. What we have also seen is that, and there's no objection to that, but it comes to a decision that is taken within the borrowers and the family unit as such, is that a lot of the older applicants will tend to get one of their child or a few of their children on it. And therefore, we will take the age of the children into consideration. However, the fact is that they're entering into a legal contract for something that they're going to be responsible for. So it would mean that we're also looking at their income and treating them as an applicant and asking for all the necessary requirements, similar to how we'll be asking for you and your wife as well.
Okay. Sorry, just a second question.
Sure.
We do have land in, say, Stony Hill. Would you provide a mortgage or a loan for, say, 100%, or you'll have to have a deposit?
You'll have to have a deposit, because the land that you're going to construct on it, correct?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And when you're going to construct at the beginning, you could, talk to Jason. They could come build a White House property down there and tell if you want the same plan. Yeah, your upfront costs in terms of a deposit would be like 25%. For that. And then the difference we will
you will foot it.
We'll foot. And of course, we will explain how that is done when you have the one-to-one with us.
I have one last question.
Cheers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have a question. Let's say my total interest, everything, it comes up to, say, 300,000 euros, and that's in 2020, right? And let's say, for example, and I have my repayment set, and let's say we have the European Union is broken up, the value of the euro goes really awry. How does that affect the total of my loan?
Okay, so if I'm understanding you right, I had some low bandwidth issues. So you had a loan, and you took out this loan and something went wrong and the value of the euro went down, correct?
Right.
To mitigate against that, that is why you would take a foreign currency loan. Now, what happened, even though we don't give a euro loan, what will more likely, because it's close in terms of dollar for dollar value, is a sterling loan.
Right.
And therefore, what would happen is that chances are the value won't fall that significantly when in relation to the sterling. And as such, you find that you won't necessarily be impacted significantly. So I'll give you an example. What took place with this whole Brexit issue?
Right.
A lot of customers, they said, okay, I'm going to hedge against the foreign exchange rate because the sterling was stronger than the Jamaican dollar. And therefore, when they took out their loans, and we will say to them, look at the foreign currency product versus the Jamaican dollar product. I said, no, they're going to take the Jamaican dollar product. So when the foreign currency, when the sterling, was 180 to 1, for example, right? Now 180 to 1. So if it is that your mortgage payment was £1,000 at the point in time, because you were paying 180,000 Jamaican dollars. Guess what happened? When Brexit was announced, that rate from 180,000 dropped significantly. It was no longer worth 180 to 1. It was something like 150 to 1 the next day. That's a $30 spread. So you see a monthly payment now jump from 1,000 to something like 1,300, 1,400. And that's where your point is very valid, Edward. If it is that the currency that you're going against, there's that vast difference and gap. But with the sterling to the euro, it's relatively close. So it will be a minimal impact, if any at all.
Okay.
Sorry, Leighton. Do you offer rate locks?
No. Well, sorry, let me clarify. When you say rate locks, what do you mean?
As in interest, like putting it on hold?
Your interest rate? No, interest rate on loans, they're variable interest rates. So what actually happens is that, as I said earlier, with our mortgage rates, they have been trending down for the last 15, 20 years. It's not a fixed rate, it's a variable interest rate, but the benefits are, once the rates trend down, your rate will go down if it is that you're an excellent mortgage payer. Reason why I asked for you to clarify, because what we find is that when you take a foreign currency loan, unless the property, the sales agreement is in a foreign currency, or it's quoted in foreign currency, it's usually quoted in Jamaican dollars, and the developer is going to be wanting to pay it in Jamaican, but we're giving you a foreign currency loan product. So what we would do is that when we're doing the loan application, we will convert from Jamaican to the currency, whether it's sterling, Canadian, US dollars, and then we will lock that rate for a period of roughly 90 days. That's the rate that's for the clarification. But in terms of the interest rate, it isn't locked.
Okay, yes, that's what I was asking. Thank you.
Right. We try to ensure that, you know, the borrower does not come out at a disadvantageous position. So we lock it for 90 days based on market trends with our treasury unit, where we see the possibility of it going. And then when it comes to disbursement, we then convert it and pay over the Jamaican currency.
Okay.
I just want to say something. I think with the loan and stuff, you guys have been talking about US, pound, and Canadian. I mean, for the people who live in Europe, I mean, I'm not talking about England. It's a disadvantage because it's going to cost us double the amount. It's going to cost us more for people if we want to pay in Europe, because we have to change over in pound and change into Jamaican.
Okay, so for someone then like you, the more advantageous possibility would be for you to just take it in Jamaican currency, because you're just doing one straight conversion because of the interest that you want the property, and you're going to make your monthly payment. So you just say, okay, fine, I'm going to take this loan.
It's the same conversion.
That's
if
what
we're
it
converting to Jamaican or converting to it's the same current foreign exchange conversion.
Exactly, it is.
You're still benefiting because it's still a stronger currency.
Yes.
Or at worst case scenario, you do it in US dollar.
So the thing is, it then boils down to, as you're highlighting, Edward, the interest rate on the product that you're getting. That's where it lies.
All right. Great thought. Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes,
Hi, I have one quick question. So I was kind of multitasking while I was watching this, but it's very, very sorry for this noise, but it's some very informative information. Is there any way that I could get like a replay of this meeting here? Because there were some notes that I wanted to take, but I just couldn't take any notes while I was watching it.
Yes, Greg. We're putting together a little pack from this. We won't get everything as it relates to the entire recording. As it relates to addressing questions, particular questions, we are unpacking that, and we'll edit and make it available for you guys. Just make sure that you drop your contact details here, so that we can also send you other information relating to Moreland Development and Victoria Mutual as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. It's 7 minutes past 9 o'clock in France. Let's just say that first. 7 minutes past, because I don't want to get in trouble with Ricky. Okay. 7 minutes past 8 o'clock in the United Kingdom, and of course 7 past 2 in Jamaica, Canada, 7 past 3, and Kuwait Help me. What time is it in Kuwait? Because I have to give you enough respect.
It's 10:07.
10:07. There you go. Abu Dhabi is the same. Is it the same time? Well, I assume.
No. It's 11:07.
Right.
Yes.
There you go. And this is because we all love land, Jamaica land. We love land. So I will hastily move on to looking at the next date for the next in the series. I will definitely include Canada. Calgary is saying that it's 1:09 there now. I will get back to you soon, and for all the reps will have the information, I would say latest Tuesday of when we will be having the next in the series. Thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome, absolutely awesome. This person, let us admit this person, and if you're happy for us to do this sooner rather than later, give us a thumbs up. All right, absolutely. All right, great stuff. So once again,
question, please, before you.
Yeah, question. Go on, John.
Should I just send my contact information to you? What information do you want from me?
All right.
Convene
well, your email address would suffice for now, but if you wish to give a telephone number, that's absolutely fine as well. You don't want your date of birth, your address, or anything like that. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Only when you're ready to open the bank account.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, and get your reference. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been really good. Jason, Mr. Baker, that's all, sir, and Mr. Smith. Thank you for joining.
I want to say one thing. Don't forget,
sorry.
we need to go to Jamaica now. We need to go visit our boss. You remember?
True. Yes.
You remember? You forget?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, all right. Yes, all right. All right. So
I need to call her and tell her, you know?
All right, and boss. All right. Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Take care.
So take care.
Guys.
All the best.
Okay.
Jason.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
No, just wash your face in the water and